we'll go in October, November when I'm reading off the odds like we do for FanDuel Sportsbook. I guarantee you, Brooklyn will be title favorite. I hope you Net fans are doing A-OK to start off a new week where the Brooklyn Nets will not be the center of attention, where the Brooklyn Nets will not have the opportunity to take center stage in New York City, in the NBA landscape, you name it. The Brooklyn Nets are going home after losing this 7-game series to the Milwaukee Bucks. And if you're looking for a silver lining 24 hours after the fact, here's what your silver lining might be. At least we hit the Philadelphia 76ers. At least we hit the Sixers. Because, now that I have a day to let this game marinate and let all of my official thoughts kind of stay within me, if you will. And we had a ton of fun yesterday. We were rocking and rolling on the locker room, Spotify Green Room. There you go. I'll eventually get the name right. Who are we kidding? Spotify Green Room. We did an hour. Calls were great. It was fantastic. I gave the Nets a little bit of a pass. And I think a lot of you who are listening to this podcast might be wondering why. It's an obvious answer. The Brooklyn Nets did not have Kyrie Irving and James Harden at their very best. You can't ignore that. You can't overlook that. You have to be fair and reasonable with that. Kevin Durant did everything in his power to go and win this series for Brooklyn, to the point where sometimes it is a game of inches. Series can be a game of inches. Kevin Durant's foot was inches away from being a game-winning shot, basically a walk-off shot that's propelling you into the Eastern Conference Finals. Was that close? Durant was magnificent in this series. Any questions about his health, any questions about whether or not he can be the KD that we saw in Oklahoma City and with the Golden State Warriors, those questions are over and done with. He was the best player in the NBA that I saw in this postseason. Brooklyn in Game 7 ran out of gas. It's really the best way to look at it. They completely ran out of gas. I mean, they did absolutely nothing on offense. They had multiple chances to kind of grow their lead in the overtime session. And that's another thing. I'm shocked Milwaukee, with their history, found a way after Durant hits that shot to win the game. Give credit where credit is due. But Brooklyn ran out of gas. Harden was not where he needed to be, and Harris killed him. Now, Joe Harris maybe didn't get the same looks he would have gotten if Kyrie Irving is in, if James Harden is 100%, but they're paying Joe Harris a boatload of money. Couldn't find the guy in this series. Basically needed a milk carton. Might as well put out an all-points bulletin to try to find Joe Harris. Couldn't find the guy. Brooklyn had moments from Griffin. They had moments from Green. They had moments from Brown. They got nothing out of Joe Harris in this series. And that killed them. And it especially killed them in game number 7. But as the Nets now move forward, and I don't buy for a minute any chatter and conversation about the complexion and feel of the team drastically changing. Nothing to me is changing with Brooklyn. Maybe the idea of getting an interior presence type guy, a little bit of an upgrade over what you currently have. I could roll with that. I think that's something that would be a nice finishing touch. But this is the roster. This is the team. And Brooklyn's fortunes on winning an NBA title, to me, come down to the simple fact of, can you keep KD, Kyrie, Harden on the court for an extended period of time? And that's where the regular season hurt Brooklyn from this standpoint. They wanted to make sure guys were right for the playoffs. You saw that with Irving. You saw that with Durant, understandably so. You also saw it with Harden. And maybe there was some karma working against Brooklyn from this vantage point. James Harden quit on the Houston Rockets. Was magnificent in Brooklyn. Could not have played better for the Brooklyn Nets. But Quit on the Houston Rockets. Was fat, was out of shape, didn't give a rat's ass. That's reality. He came to Brooklyn. He was a little pudgy. He was a little out of shape. He got into shape very quickly. But his hammy giving out the way that it did, can't prove this. I can't say with certainty it's a direct correlation. But you wonder if you're in better shape throughout the offseason and into the start of the regular season if your hammy holds up and you're not in the position that you're in this Milwaukee series. Harden's got to be in better shape here in this offseason. He cannot look like Houston James Harden in October and November. And I get it. COVID, short year, quick turnaround, all true. Harden said, screw it, I'm done playing for the Houston Rockets. And kind of ate away his feelings, basically. Played great for Brooklyn. Nothing but praise for his game with Brooklyn. But that sort of bad karma, maybe evened out here in this particular series. Kyrie, listen, Kyrie had a phenomenal season. And I am by no means the leader of the Kyrie Irving fan club. I don't like the fact that he plays when he wants to. I don't like the fact that he quit on the Boston Celtics a few years ago. I am not going to be waving Kyrie Irving pom-poms. He was incredible this year. He also has a knack and a propensity for getting hurt. Got hurt in this particular series. Tough break. Some will say maybe that's karma for the idea of playing when you want to play. Who knows? The bottom line is Brooklyn has a championship window with these particular guys. They got some bad breaks here in this postseason. They did. You love what you saw from Durant. You're bummed out about the injuries. Yes, that plays a major role. And you hope and pray that come next year, the team is 100% right. Because if they are, they're going to be the Vegas favorite to win the NBA title. We'll go in October, November, when I'm reading off the odds like we do for FanDuel Sportsbook. I guarantee you, Brooklyn will be title favorite.